playing the draft as it goes. Do you have positional strategy? Like, just kind of explain your process real quick as we head into this draft, man.
Very boring. I just draft the best available. Not trying to get too cute. Not trying to be too funny about it. I just go by my values. That's it. I'm not taking quarterback super early unless the value's there. Yeah, and I just play the board as it falls.
Where's your preferred draft position? Being that's your strategy.
Yeah, so preferred draft position is where I like in basically beyond 7 and a 12 team, 7, 8, 9. I'm fine with any of those. I prefer like the back end, so I could just double up on that value.
I'm with you.
I
hate the second round this year. I hate it.
Second round is tough, man. Shout out to everybody who've been rocking. We got 4 hours left here in the stream. Still 88 likes. We need 12 more likes to get to 100. How do we not have 100 likes, bro? Ain't no way. This video we've had 50 people in here like locked in. You know what? And I'm going to give out a draft guide real quick too before, as you guys make your picks, then we can talk about the first round. I'm going to give out a draft guide. Anybody want a draft guide? Let's see. I'm going to look up. Let's see. Draft guide. I'm about to just random giveaway, bro. If somebody got it, they got it right now. Did I mess this up? There are no eligible. Why does it say there's no eligible users, bro? The shit. Oh, did it disconnected? It disconnected. Whoops. This stream has been on too long.
Good problem.
My bad, dog. My bad. Well, I got to give you. All right, Dan.
I'm feeling good.
Since you've been on the stream longest, pick out one person from the comments. Just random. One person from the comments, they get a free draft guide. It's your pick. Your world. Pick out one person.
In this draft?
In the chat or in the draft, whatever. In the chat or the draft. Can you see the comments to me or no?
Yeah.
All right, then you pick out one. Pick out one. Dan, you lose your title.
Pick out
one. I got the comments now. I had to click another link. You got it.
Let's see.
Okay, you go ahead. Y'all both pick out one.
Let me do this pick real quick.
B dot.
Yeah, get your pick. You say who?
B dot. Cade, I saw you too late, bro.
B dot.
What's up, Ryan? Yeah, B dot.
B dot got it. B dot. B dot. Hit me on Twitter, bro. I got you on the draft guide.
Let's go crazy. I think that's crazy.
You get one too, bro.
All right. Let's see.
B dot. If you want a draft guide, hit me on Twitter.
Eagles Super Bowl. I'm with you, Ja.
Christopher Spencer. Are you still here?
Chris, you got one. Chris, if you still here in the chat, you got a draft guide.
I just discovered this comment section. This is fucking lit.
They've been on it, man. Yo, they've been rocking with me for the whole time, man. I got nothing but love. My crew, hey, I'll take my crew, like I said, versus anybody. So they've been rocking with me, man. Texas T is right. I left them abandoned. I did leave them abandoned. I ain't gonna lie, I left them abandoned. When we started, because we started getting on some good combos.
Kate. Yeah, this is funny. Yo, how do you manage this shit?
Just copped this last night. It's all good. You said how to what?
How do you manage this plus like actually talking / drafting / like, yeah, this is crazy, bro. That's why I don't do this.
This is
and by the way, you got your Discord channel, like motherfucker VIPs blowing you up and shit. Like, nah, man, I got it.
The funniest shit, I'm not gonna lie. The funniest shit is when I be on TikTok live and I'm doing this, right? I'm drafting and doing a TikTok live at the same time. And motherfucker will be like, you skipped my question. And I'm like, bruh, like, you know what I got going on right now? Like, it's hella funny. Or even like, especially during like the start and sit sessions when like the regular season gets here and it'd be like, dude, you didn't answer my question. I asked you, who am I starting? Rico Dowdle or motherfucking Raheem Blackshear? And I'd be like, dog, get the fuck out of here, bro.
Yo, why you gotta shout my hokey like that, man? Damn.
Oh no, you went to VTech?
Yeah.
Where do you think I went to?
UVA?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh shit! Oh,
right where we started, baby.
Logging out.
Texas T, I apologize for abandoning you at the auction draft. That was not my intent, man. My intent was to be there. We had some change the situation over this 12-hour period. Shit's gonna happen, man. Shit's gonna happen.
What years were you there, Toomey?
2009. So like 05 through 09.
Okay, yeah, we were around the same time, man. Your ball squad was good then? No, you weren't.
Nah, we've not been good for a minute. Basketball has been okay Football now.
Yeah, no, football now. That was never a thing.
Okay.
But hoops, y'all were good. Yeah, I feel like y'all were
fun.
like a surprise when I was there, but I think we just joined the ACC. Yeah, we saw some good hoops in our day. I never made it up to Charlottesville though.
It's nice. I've been to Blacksburg like 2 times.
First time I went, I was like, "What the fuck did I decide to just do, man? Why am I over
East Coast
here?"
dudes, bro.
A lot of stone.
Yeah, a whole lot of stone.
A lot of stone, a lot of quarry, a lot of rocks happening over there. A lot of rocks.
Damn, I might have to do this. I don't.
Dan, after your pick another player, pick another person. Did Chris Spencer already collect his? Chris Spencer, you got one or what? What's good? Yo, Adam, what's good, bro? What's good? What it do, Frill? What it do? Yeet man was popping. What's popping? I didn't mean to abandon y'all at the action. I promise I didn't.
I'm gonna go with Ether.
Ether,
Yeah.
you get one, bro.
Shout to Nas.
Nasty Nas.
Greatest of all time.
Ether. You mean it's not Drake?
Wow, boy. Into this.
It's not Drake. Is that what it is?
Aubrey can never be Aubrey.
What?
It's tough. That's tough.
Almost.
Live up.
Oh, he said he already got one. Damn, the support is here, bro. We already got one.
I'm gonna go back to Cade then.
Cade already got one too, man.
Cade already got one too.
They've been supporting, bro. They've been supporting. How about this?
I don't rock with I haven't drafted him yet.
B-Dot and Ether. It's cool. I got it. B-Dot and Ether. I'm gonna give you guys a free month of the fantasy football package instead. So you already got the draft guide. I'm gonna give you a free month of the fantasy football package until the season starts. All right.
What are your thoughts on Josh Jacobs this year?
I'm gonna give you free. Go ahead. My bad. He picking. Toomey picking now. He locked in. Toomey picking. So you can't be asking him a question while you picking.
This quarterback was bothering me just sitting in my face like this.
I know it was bothering me too, and I was like, nah, I'm gonna keep going.
You gotta adapt to the draft, baby.
I didn't want
to adapt to the draft. So B-Dot and Ether, both of y'all getting the fantasy pack.
I definitely fucked up with that.
Let me know. Hey, somebody let me know if it's my turn, all right?
What slot you got? You're number 2.
Yeah, just let me know. Use this by tomorrow. Hit me on Twitter. Both of y'all. B-Dot and Ether, hit me on Twitter. Let me know it's you.
It's you now.
It's on me. Thanks. What we looking at? Oh, damn, there's hella running backs here still, too.
Yep.
You got Diggs as your number 1? Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go.
No, I'm cool with him. I'm cool with him
at
2. But like 1?
Who else is I going to take there as my 1? Debo? I got Debo, too. Maybe he's my 1.
No. Yeah, I probably would have taken Ayuk over that. But
I've taken Debo and Ayuk in hella drafts. I've taken Diggs in hella drafts, too.
You like him in the second, though?
I don't mind him in the second.
And you took him over Nico.
Yeah, I got Diggs over Nico comfortably.
Over Marvin Harrison. Comfortably.
Your boy is not on the Marvin Harrison train. He's going to be solid. He is solid. I think he's just being overdrafted right
Diggs?
now. What's wrong with Diggs? What's wrong with Stephon Diggs? I don't understand the Stephon Diggs hate.
I'm cool with it. I just think you skipped over a couple of cats before you went a little early on Diggs. You could have got him on the 3rd, probably. Or easily could have.
I would have took Debo there. Let me ask you this. So there's been a lot of opinion. I would say that's one of the bigger things is like because of the relationship with Tank Dell and CJ Stroud, a lot of people are assuming he's going to, have a continued role from last year when he was on like 1,000-yard pace, 1,000-yard, 10-touchdown pace before his injury. And then Nico Collins obviously had a strong season last year. He got injured, and I think a lot of people forget about kind of Nico Collins being injury prone over the first part of his career. And then we had Diggs, who had a top 10 season, but it was front loaded, right? So in the second half of the year, he fell off, and a lot of people are assuming that's like age or maybe he's not going to have the same role. Tell me, I'm going to start with you. How you feel about these receivers, bro? Because I know you got your pick right now. So go ahead and handle that. But how are you feeling about these guys? Because a lot of people are split right now on this Texans receiving core.
I think that all of what you said about like Stephon Diggs is valid. I think he could win short very well. I think that in the red zone, Nico, I think he had like a 28% red zone share last year. That's not going to happen ever again. But the downfield stuff, I do think that Nico and Tank are just better at that than Diggs at this point in his career. And I think that Diggs could lead that team in touchdowns. It's all about, like, if we're drafting these guys like that, CJ Stroud needs to be going higher than like all these quarterbacks. Like, what do we think CJ Stroud's going to throw for like 5,500 yards? I think just at some point something's got to give once you have all these weapons. So I think Diggs will be solid, but just a lot of red zone stuff, short stuff. His ADOT's coming down. But Tank is a problem. Nico's a problem when he's healthy. Yeah, it just kind of worries me. And also the red zone stuff with Joe Mixon, he's better at red zone than the running backs they had last year. So it's just those are all the kind of concerns I have for like any one player outside of CJ Stroud in this offense.
Yeah, it's tough, man. I go with the talent, Dan. So Dan, you said who do you have? You got Nico or you got Diggs?
I'm gonna take Nico over Diggs, but I like Diggs because I feel like in most drafts he falls, which is why I'm surprised you had to reach at 211 for him or 2-2. No, 211. That's not really reaching. It's reaching a bit. Guys, I think he's a third round guy. I think he's a third rounder guy.
I'm gonna tell you this, bro. I be getting my guys. I don't give a shit about ADP, bro. I be getting my guys. So that's always how I've been. It be working. Tank Dale there. So you like so Diggs? We got Diggs in the second. Nico was in. Where was Nico in?
Nico in the third.
Nico in the third, and then Tank in the sixth. I think the one player I don't like is just Tank Dell, bro. A lot of people are on him. So I think this is a good point you mentioned to me is like we have to, if you think all three of these guys are 1,000-yard guys, then that means you should be taking CJ Stroud as a top 3 quarterback, like floor. And he's probably going to be higher. But I kind of feel like in a way, Tank Dell, even though that's his guy, that's the one that's going to be hurt the most out of this entire thing.
I think the thing you mentioned about Nico was really interesting. He has been like mad injury prone. Like he's missed 4 games, like basically 4 games per year almost. He was healthy last year, but his health is a real thing. And so I that's the one where I actually haven't ranked highest, but I'm basically being a hypocrite. Like he has the biggest amount of concern for me because of his red zone work and his health. That's what I'm thinking.
I mean, at some point, can they all just cannibalize each other, similar to like what's going to happen in Chicago? Probably, like they're all going to eat at different points in the season, right? You're going to have those games where, like, can that offense sustain? And you also got Joe Mixon there too. I don't know. I feel like you're going to have those days where Diggs is going to be 5 for 50 with no tutty, and then you have Nico Collins on the other side with like 4 for 84 and a touchdown, and then Tank somewhere in between that. Like I feel like it's going to be so volatile. I don't even know if I really want to fuck with the situation, to be honest.
That's real.
Yeah. That's why Tank to me, like going in the 6s, whatever. It's like I'm fine with the best value. Like and see what happens.
Yeah.
I ain't mad at that. Yeah, it's interesting, man. Kate said, give me a free month of something. I already have everything. I got you got the all access for the low. That price is quadruple already since you got it. So you good, bro.
And respect to Kay for having that Jimmy Butler on the Sixers. Elton Brand fucked that whole shit up, man.
I don't know how they messed that up, bro. The process. That shit got processed.
Still loading. Still processing.
Man, got your 14-man draft. If you got any questions, bro, throw it in the chat. We'll help you out, man. If you debating, you already drafting good though, bro. So who's drafting? Are you guys drafting right now? I feel like it's hella early to be drafting.
I'm not for real yet. Outside of best ball.
Yeah,
I had a couple.
Second
what's
week of preseason.
What's your best ball? How many teams you got?
Like 2. I just started.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I got some crazy. You do the weekly winners? Do you do weekly winners or only doing Best Ball Mania?
Mania for me.
I'm telling you, I'll be going to that weekly winners because I feel like the weekly winners, it pays out weekly. You're not having to wait all the way till like 15, 16, 17 in order to win it all. And I get there's not the $1 million prizes, but like shit, 20 bands a week. 20 bands a week and you got 17 chances. Like I just load up on one team. I'm like, shit, if I can hit with 2 teams that are the highest scoring teams of the week, you win weekly winners. So shit, I was like, let me run that.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody, the reason why I'm not a big fan of Best Ball is Mania is because it's one of the things where you got to put in like so many rosters, bro. You got people putting in 250 rosters.
You're playing DFS again and that shit. Next thing I know, I'm got like, man, I don't know. That's
and you know how this industry, Dan, you know how this industry is, bro. I know you know, like motherfuckers are teaming up. You know, so I'm like, yo,
1,000%.
I'm maxing out my 250. You max out your 250. Us 5 have every single possible combination, and I'm like, and then
they got all them optimizers and all that. Like, man, you're playing a rigged game. I'm not,
and it's not regulated. Like, how the fuck is that shit not gonna be regulated, bro?
At all, yeah.
But I mean, shit. I guess I can't hate if they winning. Can't hate if they winning. What mock y'all got on deck? Please say 14 team. We can do a 14 team next, bro. We haven't. I'm not gonna lie. These mock drafts are catching up to you, boy, man. They're catching up. Here we go. About to do my Dynasty League startup. I'll let y'all take this one. About to do my Dynasty League startup in the next hour. Excuse me. Any tips from y'all? Any tips? Dynasty League tips. Startup. Dynasty League startup tips. So one of the ones that I always say is like, make sure you're not playing to win 5 years from now. Play to win for the next 2-3 years and then build, right? Get your dub, get your championship before you start building out. Because I think people always come into Dynasty thinking that they need to play for 5-10 years out. That's my tip. What do y'all got?
I co-sign that 1,000%. I don't understand, no matter whether you're playing with friends or randos, why you would ever want to throw in money to just watch your team rebuild for 3-4 years of a maybe. Get the money now, draft a win now team, give yourself a little bit of flexibility. Maybe you want to trade a veteran, get a draft pick for the upcoming draft and all that, but nothing's promised in this league, man. So to rely on a whole bunch of draft picks and questionables and rookies, it's stupid. I don't get it. So win now.
I agree 100%. I definitely am the type of person who always floats with more rookies than I should, but I acknowledge that. I'm recovering from my rookie obsession, so I definitely can speak from some Dynasty. I'm definitely more heavily into redraft than Dynasty for that reason. I just get so in love with rookies. So yeah, I could speak from a bad experience.
That's hilarious. You know, it's funny, man. When like I don't know if it ever comes out in your guys' content, but like you can have your own personal like biases and shit, and sometimes you don't even see it. For me, like I think I've found a good balance of like just knowing what a take is, and then knowing where like I have biases. Like the one player, to be honest, this season that I have struggled with until recently. I said fuck it recently, but the player I had struggled with was Cooper Kupp because I acknowledged the talent. And I thought the role, I'm like, yo, he didn't just lose the role last year. Like Puka was good, but he was hurt. Stafford was hurt. Like things happened. And I was struggling because he was being drafted as like the wide receiver 25 just a couple days ago, right?
Yeah.
And so recently, since there's been like talks that he looks like the one now, his draft values come up. But I had Puka rated higher than Kupp, and I think it was just solely because of ADP. Solely because of that. I think Kupp's a better receiver, and I think he's going to be a top 10 player, a top 10 receiver this year. So I switched that up, bro. Like, how do y'all feel? How do y'all do with that? Because that's, to me, that's one of the harder things.
I do. I feel like this is also the time of year when we start to do that as well, where like the ADP is what it is. We may be leaving our rankings in a certain way just because that's what the rest of the industry is. But like for me, the take was basically like CMC to me is just not the number one player in fantasy. I just don't think that's going to happen. I didn't believe that was going to happen. My entire offseason, the rankings have showed that he's a number one, and then I'm just talking myself into it. It's like, no, I think Brees is the number one running back. So I put him above them. And I also think Bijan's ahead of CMC too. So I put both of them ahead of CMC. CD, actually, if he is signed, would be my 101 this year, actually.
Really?
Yeah. But I just think that I was so opposed to just getting off the CMC train. And like within the last 2 weeks, I changed it up.
Dan likes the CD at 101.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know about that. Nah.
I get it. I'm not mad at it. My thing is just like I just don't know. I just can't. My faith. I'm a Birds guy, but like my faith in the Dallas Cowboys and what they're doing, I think is going to have more damage than we think. Like CD had an amazing year last year. Not much changed. He has no competition for targets. The running back room is trash. Like Dak should do what he did last year, and so should CD. But I don't know. Something tells me this shit's gonna go left.
It could.
Yeah, it kind of feels like
you can't play with someone's money like this. Like I feel like I don't know. There's got to be some like low key animosity that's gonna bleed into like how their performance kind of pans out.
Man, all of them dudes. Jerry running.
I mean, Dak's gonna get
Jerry
paid.
running this over there.
It's crazy though. Like I don't know what Jerry's doing.
I hear you on the CD stuff. Like that's the one thing where it sucks this year trying to pick a number one overall.
Mhm.
Because outside of that, I do think like just opportunity wise, scheme wise, we saw him with McCarthy for this year, him calling the
Mhm.
plays, like how it all turned out. And if his health could stay together, and I also think I do actually think Dallas takes a step back behind the Eagles this year, and they may be chasing a little bit more than we think, which may be good for the passing, just maybe not as much like red zone action. I think there's upside there, even if the team isn't performing well. But I mean, these guys got to sign their damn contracts. Like they got to get the deals done. It's getting to
A lot of players complaining about money this offseason, man. It's affecting a lot for fantasy purposes, at least. There was a really good question that came in here.
What do we think about the Washington offense?
I think it's a really good question because there's not a lot of people talking about this, myself included. And I've talked about the love for Jaden Daniels, but I think what's going overlooked is a lot of people are forgetting that this entire offense is going to be revamped. This is going to be a whole new look Commanders team. Dan or Toomey, whoever wants this one, man, I'll let y'all talk on it. But I'm excited for this Washington offense, probably more than I should be and more than I've talked about.
Who's their coordinator?
Cliff Kingsbury now. We know that air raid, man. That air raid offense. How y'all feeling about it? Y'all not buying into it?
I like Terry. Everybody else, I'm like, Like if Austin Eckler falls to you, like cool. Brian Robinson, I drafted him. I think he could be a red zone work, like early down kind of guy. Like probably would have some spike weeks, especially with a Jaden Daniels offense. Like I usually like those running backs with the mobile guys, even though they might siphon some of them those red zone looks. Like they're still good, keeping the defense at bay. I don't know. I probably only draft Terry, Jaden, and Brian Robinson. I don't really like. I don't know what to think of Eckler right now.
Yeah.
That's where you're at too?
Yeah, I'm there too. Those are the only players I'm drafting. I do think that there's a world where B-Rob could kind of go crazy, and I love his value in drafts because I do think that it's going to be the Austin Eckler fall apart season, like truly, like he falls off a cliff. Brian Robinson actually is a really, really good pass catcher. He just never gets the opportunity for it. And like you were saying in the scheme, like it's very similar to Jaden Daniels and like Lamar Jackson. Right. Obviously, they're going to steal so much off the top, but at the red zone, you got the Gus Edwards effect. So, I mean, I think that that's possible for Brian Robinson, who's, to me, more talented than Gus Edwards.
Great.
Yeah,
well said.
I'm not mad at that. I feel like I like the Washington offense a little bit more than you guys are letting on. Like, when I look at – I don't think Dotson's going to be anything crazy. I don't think Luke McCaffrey is going to be anything crazy. But I look at the tight ends even for this team. Like, Zach Ertz was playing even a semi-decent role for Atlanta before he got hurt. Benson Ott, they took him in the second round, and this team uses their tight ends the same way we saw Zach Ertz and Trey McBride be used. I'm not taking either one for fantasy, but as deep sleepers or just the offense as a whole, I think they're going to be able to move the football down the field. And I think Austin Eckler, for all the shit that everybody gave him those couple weeks when he was running, and it looked like he was running in slow motion, we all saw the clip. I think he'll be better than that. Like, this is a guy who at times, even last season, he looked the part. It was just he got hurt. He had that high ankle sprain, which took him out for a couple weeks and affected his production. So if he's 85% of the running back that he was even back then, getting him outside the top 25 running backs, to me, I just feel like there's a little bit of value as a pass catcher in that offense. But I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I like getting Austin Eckler. I feel like he's been a good RB3 flex, especially if you know what I'm saying, like if he gets the pass catching work, which I'm assuming.
Do you think it's more because like you've been doing analyst type drafts and like obviously fantasy Twitter's a thing? I feel like they've been driving his market value down, and I agree with you because like I always felt like it was like the high ankle sprain. Yeah, Eckler. Yeah, like I always felt like the high ankle sprain is a very tough thing to come back from, especially when you're an aging running back. And he was, for the most part, for the miles and the amount of workload he was getting, he was actually upright for a while. So like, can we just pass that off as like an outlier year? He was hurt, comes back, new system, probably still is in like a committee role, but like we know he can be good in that setting anyway. Like that's who he was. Like we don't want him running between the tackles. We want him in space.
It's an up-tempo offense.
Yeah, like it is. It is.
Like
Anthony Lynn.
That's where I'm at with him.
Yeah, got Anthony Lynn back, who was his head coach in LA. Now he's running backs coach for Washington. So
yeah,
I mean his ADP is a good point. I mean he was a first round pick last year, and so what is he going now? Like
he's outside. He's literally what 9th round, 10th round.
That's
So-
see, like that seems like that's got to be an overcorrection.
That's fair.
Like to just not be. I want to say he was a top 25 running back last year, even with all the shit that happened. I want to say he was a top 25 or 26 running back last year. Maybe I'm tripping on that number, but I want to say he was like top 25 or 26 running back last year, even with that. So I'm like, if we get a little bit of the production, right? I'm not expecting him to be Austin Eckler ever again like he was in the Chargers, but like shit, if he's a 50, 60 catch back, Austin Eckler could be. He said he was planning on being back this year. So I look at him as one of those value plays when everybody is like, he's about to go. That's also often a lot of times where I find value.
So like he went right around Nick Chubb, who's coming off a bad injury, but he's a freak of nature, so he'll get back at some point. But
where is Eckler? Eckler won the ninth round. Yeah, last year he was the RB31 last year.
Gus Edwards, Trey Benson,
26.
Jonathan Brooks, like really injured motherfuckers that like haven't played a down in football are going before him.
Yeah,
that seems aggressive.
It is.
I don't know. That's where he was a player I kind of like. So I don't know. We'll see. I think that's a good question because we don't talk enough about like that Washington offense
at all.
I think that was a really good question actually. Yeah. Y'all hit the like button on the stream, man. We're gonna rate these teams 89 likes. We need 11 more. Can we got 50 people in here. I'm assuming a lot of them been hanging around, but can we get 11 more likes on this video? We gotta see, man. All right, y'all ready to rate the teams?
Yep.
This is what I've been doing all day, bro. Rating teams since 6 o'clock this morning.
Jesus. That's something super. You want this one, Justin? That's your one?
Yeah, let me get this one. Let me get this one. I'll start it off. Tyreek Hill, Ayuk, and Deontay Johnson. So Deontay at your wide receiver 3 is decent. Cortland Sutton at the flex with Lockett, Gabe Davis. I think you got some good backup options there. Derrick Henry, Walker, Cook. Running backs are solid. Love and Goddard, I'd have no issue with that. I like the setup of this team, Cade. Wish you would have got a little bit more upside at the end because you have the foundation already built. You didn't really need any more safe guys at the end. You needed some upside. That's the only thing I say there. Otherwise, I think that's a good draft. I give it like an 8.2. All right, I'm up next. Who wants it?
I already kind of cooked you a little bit with that Diggs. Second round Diggs is already a downgrade. And you're gonna follow up with broke ass.
You might as well just finish the job then. Finish the job, man. Finish the job.
I like your running backs are solid. Mark Andrews is cool. I like D Hop where you got him. CJ Stroud, definitely good. Zach Charbonnet that late, I think is good value. I'm gonna give you a damn Diggs is your number 1 though.
That's tough, man.
Come on, man.
With the other receivers too, it's like
I'll give you a B-. So that's like I'm gonna give you a 7.995.
That's
7.95.
It'll round up to a B-, but really it's a C+.
Can't give me the 0.05, man. I'm your boy, bro.
Nah, it's a good squad. I like at least you got Roma Dunze in there. You got some upside there. Jerry Jeudy though? Nah, never mind.
Oh Jesus.
Always hating, bro.
Okay.
Where we at next?
Who got the next one?
Joseph. Let's go. So CeeDee Lamb, love that at 3. Mike Evans, I prefer to get him a 3rd. I'm not as high as Justin. Probably as Mike Evans typically, but I think that he'll be solid. I just don't know second round ADP, but again, I think second round is like the worst place in the draft this year. Kelsey, love that in the 3rd. I think that Kelsey's tight end 1 this year. I truly believe that he's coming back. Yep. I just think like the 5, like he was tight end 1 per game last year, tied with like Hawk, and he had 5 touchdowns. Like I think like even if his snaps continue to go down, which they've been doing every year, it's just he could be tight end 1. Let me stop yapping. All right, Jackson, love that. I mean, in this type of draft, it feels like that's even too high. But I mean, all these quarterbacks going so late, but that's solid value. James Conner, I don't mind him, just not in the 5th. It's tough. All right, wide receivers, I like the 2 you got there. Didn't think you need to get Goff there. It's solid. I'll give it like a 7.6.
7.6 it is.
Yep.
All right, Chase, Cup, Harrison, great job there. Floor, ceiling, I think you got a mix of it all there. Trey McBride, great start. Stevenson, DeAndre Swift, Singletary, obviously running backs are not your strong suit. Lat McConkey, Romeo Dobbs. Nah. Joe Burrow, I'm not really a big fan of Joe Burrow, but where you got him, I mean, you could have had CJ Stroud there. A little interesting, but man, I get his team like a 7-9. I feel really good about your start, your first 4.
Mhm.
And then I feel like this draft kind of went astray after like round 5.
But I feel like the combination of backs, though, Stevenson, Swift, Singletary, all RB2s that probably don't have the crazy ceiling, but I feel like that's enough to get by. Like, you might have to make another move at one point, but like,
I've been through enough start and
solid.
sit sessions on a Sunday morning to know that's exactly the problem you don't want right there. Who do I start? Stevenson, Swift, and Singletary. Every single week, you're going to be asking yourself the same fucking question. Which one of these mediocre backs do I start?
Yeah. You need one of them to pop crazy to like separate themselves.
That's where I be on. It's like sometimes it's a gift just to have one guy that you know and you can just rotate to. But I get those questions all the fucking time. Who do I start? This RB2, or this RB2? That's a tough battle for yourself every week. Yeah, kick him out. Nobody can disagree with J-Han. Facts, bro. They know what it is, bro. 11 more likes. We need 30 push-ups. I thought it was. When did we get 30 push-ups? I thought that was 7,000. I thought I needed to get to 7,000. We had 690, 669 something. I forget what it is. 6,900 something. I don't know what it is, but we ain't had enough yet. Anyway, who got next?
Quidot, though. Christian McCaffrey at 5.
That's crazy.
That's crazy value right there. Drake London, Nico Collins, beautiful. Alvin Kamara to pair that up, beautiful. Anthony Richardson, Calvin Ridley. Yo, this is a squad.
This is.
8.5 off the rip. I don't think there's a pick that I don't. The only one I really don't like is George Kittle, but where you got him in round 7 is fine.
Yeah.
Like, I'm cool with everybody. Chuba Hubbard, like,
you hate the Niners, bro. I swear to God.
I think I told you this before. I've never drafted George Kittle in a fantasy league, like ever. Like, he's never been.
That's why you be losing, though, bro.
Here we go. Check my numbers. Platinum diamond status always.
Check my stats.
Platinum diamond status always.
Hey.
No, this is a tough squad, though. I actually might even give this shit an A because, like, there's really no weaknesses. Like, they got the wide receivers, they got the running back, they got the mobile quarterback. This is an A. This is probably the best draft. This is probably the best team in the draft.
This is a league winning squad.
Yeah.
You'll see like AR5 and Kamara. Like if he goes,
J-Mo got a hit though, and I like getting Gus Edwards down there. J-Mo has to hit.
There's no. But even if he doesn't, though, you're still starting 3 wide receivers. You got Calvin Ridley as your wide receiver 3.
Well, you got to flex though. You got to have a flex.
Hubbard will get you there at the beginning of the season,
right? The way Bateman could be that guy. Like you never, Shakir could pop if Keon Coleman doesn't come on. Like if Curtis Samuel gets hurt, like he always does. Like,
but you got the CMC advantage already, and if Anthony Richardson's healthy, then it's just a lights out situation.
Yeah, that seems tough.
That's a nice team.
Yeah, is this me? Corbin, we got Jettas. Bracey, Rice, Xavier Worthy, and Keon Coleman. I'm definitely not liking the receivers right now. I know one of those guys is going to pop off on a weekly basis, and you got Pacheco. So you stacked over there at that KC. And then, Jalen Hurts and Kincaid. This is what I'm talking about, taking a quarterback and tight end early. I think just because of the nature of how many good to or above average to elite running backs and receivers there are, and then a big-ass drop-off, I think you felt the effects of that here personally. So I'm actually not a fan of this team at all, Corbin. I think this is, unfortunately, this is probably like a 7 flat.
But if you're going to play the waiver game, would you rather do it with running backs or wide receivers?
Running backs all day. Never with receivers. Unless you're going to get one Puka Nacua a year. That's it. Running backs come a dime a dozen towards the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
But they got the ups. I mean, they pretty much picked like either Rashid's going to come back off suspension or Xavier Worthy's never going to give his job back. So
that's your number 2 receiver, and then you got Keon Coleman.
It's a lot of faith. It's a lot of faith.
This is a lot of faith. Please,
especially
he's going to be traded off Trey Benson.
Like if you had even CD, if you had somebody who's just more secure in what their situation is instead of Jay Jettis, he's amazing on his own. But if it was like Amon-Ra in this squad, like, or at least I know my wide receiver 1 can't fail me basically without like a golf injury.
You got to start 3 receivers. I'm not buying that. Those receivers to me ain't it. I'm just being
the wide receiver. Yeah, it's definitely bad.
It's bad. It's bad.
They would have to make a trade for sure.
All right, Dan, you got to take this one because this is Toomey's team.
Amon Ra, beautiful. Achan, love it. Waddle, okay. Mahomes, Neighbors. So someone's got to sell me on Neighbors in the 5th round. That's you're the value guy. So I'm like, why are you reaching for Neighbors? But you like your rookie, so you got your rookie.
I got my rookie.
Like Kyle Pitts bounce back. Who doesn't? Najee, that's a value pick. Always slept on. I used to give Jay Hen all kinds of shit last year for Najee, and then Najee's that guy though. No one wants him. Fuck it, take him. Love Tajay Spears. I think he's gonna pop like Christian Watson. Your back end of the draft you crushed that. I'm gonna give this an 8-1, maybe 8-3. It's definitely a good team. It's a playoff team. I think you have the right insurance packages. The only question I would have is like Malik Neighbors. That's a lot of faith.
Yeah, and I like so not even just going off of we all see the training camp videos. We know that he's doing well, but like if Daboll is truly calling the offense, that's why I have so much faith. If he's not, then he's going to come down my board pretty strong because Daboll just puts his guys in position to get yards after catch, and that is just one thing that this man is like a savant at. Like you get him the ball, he's just going to go crazy. And so that's really the exciting thing for me. What's up?
And as we were just hyping up the Reds, the Commanders, you picked them before McLaurin, you picked them before T. Higgins, Christian Kirk, Amari Cooper, Devontae. There's some names. So I like the conviction on it. Neighbors, I gotta read up more on Neighbors.
Nah, Daniel Jones. That's all you got to read on him. And
that was my read.
That's my read too, bro. I'm like,
this makes it. I guess to me, truly is like if we truly get like really good intelligence, saying no, Daboll's he actually just faking. He's not calling the plays. He's crashing down my board because Daboll calling these plays is like a cheat code for Daniel Jones. Like we saw the first year, like guys are just running wide open in this scheme. And so I just think especially if it was like, honestly, if it was Marvin Harrison Jr., it's not the same fit. Malik Neighbors specifically with Daboll is the reason why. And to me, the 5th round isn't too bad. Like, I feel you could quibble about if he should go above or below like Terry. I really like Terry. But yeah, that's where I'm at.
So just the last thing on Neighbors, because I don't want to harp on one pick that you made, bro. Like that's not the end all be all. Good. Yeah. But projection for Marvin Harrison, right? Like, you think 1,008 is that like realistic, or you think that's floor? You think that's ceiling? You think that's about right? Because the reason why I asked you that, I don't want to spill it, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Is I look at T. Higgins and I'm like, T. Higgins is probably 1,108. You look at Terry McLaurin, probably 1,006. You got Amari Cooper, probably 1,107. You know what I'm saying? Jaden Reed probably gonna be somewhere in that range with all of his shit combined. So you take Christian Kirk, 11 and 7. Like we kind of are going around that range. Like, why would you put Malik Neighbors there if you feel like he's even, you feel like his ceiling's way higher than that? Like, just talk to me about that.
Yeah. So I think his ceiling's way higher than that. I don't have the numbers off top. I think he can definitely get me 1,100. The touchdowns aren't going to be as high, but I think that he's going to produce like from a yardage standpoint down the field. I think they're going to just get him the ball and just let him just go crazy after the catch. And PPR specifically, I think that's where he's going to really win there.
We're going to see. All right. This team, Breece Hall, Javonte Williams, Jonathan. Did I steal that one from you? I think I stole this one from you, Dan. You can take the next two.
You got it.
Breece Hall, Javonte Williams, Jonathan Brooks, Jerome Ford. You got Josh Allen, good value there in the 4th. Ingram, Olave, DJ Moore, Zay Flowers, Tank Dell. This is definitely not a J-Hen team. Definitely not a J-Hen team, PPR, 3 receivers. But I think you have good floor here, which I do like. And then it combines with good upside, like your Dell, Zay Flowers type thing. So I don't think this team is strong enough to win it all, but I think this is one of the playoff teams, if I'm being honest. I think it's a playoff team. I just don't think it's strong enough to win it all. I'll give it like an 8-2.
What's up with Olave, Justin?
What you mean, what's up with him?
So you're not a big fan of him this year, right?
No, I mean, Olave is who he is.
Yeah.
He is who he is. He's been 1,000, 1,005, 1,008. 1,108. And even with Kubiak's system, right? I know everybody's anticipating like a big role, him to change in this Clint Kubiak system. You still got the same damn quarterback. It's still Derek Carr. It's still the same problems to me in the offense. So I'm like, I hear you. Like, I hear the love for Olave, but why do that when we know he's probably not going to be a 100-catch guy? He's probably not going to be a 10-touchdown guy. Maybe he gets 200 more yards in the offense. But what's the upside really with Chris Olave? That's where I'm just like in the 2nd round. I'd rather get somebody that got 1,500 yard potential, 100 catch potential, or 10 touchdown potential.
So you think Derek Carr is just capping his potential?
I think Derek Carr, there's a good chance we don't see Derek Carr finish the season as a starter for the Saints.
Spencer.
I was saying that when he got drafted. I was like, I don't care who Spencer Rattler goes to. He's going to start like 3 games at least and win some games. And now we see he went to the perfect spot to like take somebody's job. So we'll see what happens.
My guy Dan from the Fantasy Guys, what's good, Dan? How you living, bro?
What's up? What's up? Welcome. What's going on? How you guys doing?
We got another Dan in the chat, man. We just getting done with this mock draft. We'll get you in the next one.
Two goats. It is what it is. What's good?
What's good, man? So Dan, you got this team, bro.
Okay, shit. Well, hey, I'm right here. Let's do it. Okay. So we got let's see, Jahmyr Gibbs.
I'm in Titans, but shit, this works. This worked out perfectly.
Jahmyr Gibbs in the first. You know, I like Jahmyr Gibbs, but again, you know, having to deal with the entire offense, right? So you got Ahmad St. Brown, Sam Laporta, you got Jamison Williams coming in. There's a lot of mouths to feed in that offense. So for me, I wouldn't have been mad if you would take Taylor over Gibbs. I get the PPR upside, I get all of that, but to me, I like kind of, if you're going to go running back in the first round, I almost want like that guarantee. So I see where he's coming from, but I have Taylor ranked just ahead of Gibbs in my rankings. So I wouldn't have picked him, but hey, you know, I get it. Devontae Adams, great value. I still think in the second round, a guy that's going to get an immense amount of targets. And of course, he's a superstar, so I don't really hate that. But then you locked it up going Laporta in the third round with Gibbs. I'm not a fan of ever having 2 players on the same team. I just don't like that. I mean, some people love the stack. The only stack that I usually take is either a quarterback tight end or receiver quarterback. So to have a running back and a tight end, to me, it just doesn't, for me, it never maximizes that output. And then Keenan Allen, I think in the fourth round, I think it's still a tad bit too high for me. You know, again, a lot of weapons in Chicago. T. Higgins, someone that again is habitual. Like who is he? Like he has the talent to be that number 1 guy, but like he's never gonna. I don't think he's ever gonna get there. Like he just is who he is. Like a solid wide receiver 2, can get you those flair wide receiver 1, but you can't really like bank on that. And I think that's kind of in the same tier as a Keenan Allen. And then Kyler Murray, I absolutely like Kyler. I think getting Marvin Harrison is going to boost his stock. Pollard, for me, you know, I'm more of a Spears guy. If I had to take one of the 2, I like Spears. But having Tony Pollard your RB2 now it's kind of getting in that really risky range. Zach Moss could be good, but they have who's that guy? They're starting to hype him a little bit, so it's kind of like, okay, well, but then you can kind of see where if Moss goes a little bit later, you can kind of maybe get value. So I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of Zach Moss. I'm probably just staying away from that situation. And then of course you got Caleb Williams, who he did stack it with Keenan Allen. So I don't really hate that going later. And then of course Curtis Samuel, I do like. Obviously a Bills fan. I like Curtis Samuel. But a lot of the hype is still going to Keenan. Keon Coleman, and he's going there. Dowell at the end, and Legit. I'm not a fan of Legit, and Dowell is just. I think he's just a guy. I don't believe in his talent. So I think overall, I definitely wouldn't rank this team too high. Probably like 6.5, 7 out of 10. If I'm
swinging the low grade.
Had to, man. I'm ruthless when it comes to grades, bro. I can't do it. Yep. No, sir.
He said came in firing. Shots fired, bro.
Shots are fired.
Damn. All right, Dan, you got this one in. You know what I'm saying? I'll get your team. And then Toomey, you get the last one.
I like Garrett Wilson off the top there with George Pickens and F1. Their wide receivers are good. Kyron, Joe Mixon, don't like Zeke. I think you could probably get away with Kyron and Joe. A little bit injury risk there with not much to back that up. Like I think the RBs might be a little sketch. Dak is cool if he gets paid. I'm sure he will. Love Njoku. That's like my sleeper tight end that I can get late. Think he's going to cook. Palmer, we'll see. Josh Downs, I do like that late. Dontavian Wicks, I also like that. I'm going to give this a probably give it like a 7. It's like a 7-3.
7-3.
Yeah, the running backs to me are definitely going to be a question mark, but I like the rest of the squad. So I think they can probably get away with it. They might have to trade, like, maybe you package F1 and Chris Godwin to get you another running back or something.
See, they be worried, but they be mad at my grades. I be giving out, like, you know what I'm saying, like 7.8s and like 8.5s. They be mad at my grades. Y'all are harsh, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. Y'all are harsh, man.
I give it out 1A in like 3 drafts or something like that.
That's right.
So, yeah.
All my shit is between an 8.5 and a 7.5, damn near. Stay in that zone. All right, Titans, you up, bro. We got AJ Brown, Puka Nacua, Pittman. Good job on the receivers. Jacobs and David Montgomery. I'm not sure about David Montgomery this year, man. You got splits there with Robinson and Warren too, so you're hoping one of those guys pops off. Kirk, and I think the receiver game is phenomenal.
Crazy. Yeah,
receiver game is phenomenal. Got Purdy in two after you was just talking about Purdy, and I see you had to come back to the good side with my Niners, baby. I feel like your running backs are just mad weak. If you can pick up running backs, you'd be fine, but I don't mind Jacobs in the 4th. It's Montgomery in the 5th, and I'm like, I'm good. So I get his team like an 8.
So what are your thoughts on Josh Jacobs? Because that was the pick I was like, I don't know what to do here. And then I followed that right up with, I don't want to do this here with David Montgomery. So I see why you feel, because I would feel the same way because I hate those running backs.
Yeah, I don't mind Jacobs right there. And you got Mixon and Kamara too. Like any one of those 3 for me is fine. I think they're all top 10. But when it comes down to like the offense, I just think he's limited ceiling wise, but Jacobs should be fine. He should be 1,100 yards, 8 touchdowns, be involved somewhat in the receiving game, not like a whole lot. But, I mean, that offense is going to move, and they're going to use him in the red zone. So I like it. I just think Montgomery, second half last year, became Gibbs here. Like, Gibbs is about to be him this year, in my opinion. So that's why I was harsh on your running backs.
I think you can just kind of go either way because, like, I feel like it's personal preference. You know, Jacobs, Mixon, Kamara. Like, for me, like, I love Alvin. It's so, like, Alvin's always been my boy. I can never get him in drafts, it feels like, but like it's just I feel like personal preference because again, Green Bay's ascending in that offense. You got Houston right there, but then you feel like is Mixon that true workhorse? Like he's still going to be good, but is he like that true guy that's going to get all of the touches? And of course, Kamara, he's just older, and I think that's what scares people off. But Kamara's still elite. So
everybody hates the old backs, man.
They do. Why? I don't get it, man. I don't get it.
All right, last one. To me, you.
All right, so I'm not a big fan of RB, but if you're gonna do it, I don't mind this one. If it wasn't PPR, I'd feel much better about it just because we'll see what happens with Saquon. I know he's moving all over the formation, but I just gotta see it first from Jalen Hurts to pass your running back. JT, no matter what, he's still gonna put up yards. I love DK Metcalf this year. That's one of my guys this year. Smith. I'm a little low on him, but I mean, if he's going to be used in the slot in this offense, that's amazing. Cooper always slept on solid. Jaden Reed looks like he's a beast. Raheem Mostert, I mean, he's still the number one in in Miami there. Even though I think H.N.'s better, but I mean the value's 7th round. Addison, I'm like meh about him. If you're gonna do the Jaden Daniels pairing, I love pairing him with like a quote unquote more safe asset. But maybe Trevor Lawrence isn't that. But the idea of it, like Jaden Daniels plus X is solid. Like Jaden Daniels, him and Purdy are like the 1-2 to me that I love pairing the most. And then we see the thing about Chase Brown. If Chase Brown truly is going to be getting all this first team work with that explosiveness, that's an amazing upside running back. But you're solid, very well balanced team. And I personally do like the Freiermuth late. Like I'm fine. Like he's the last tight end I'm actually fine with being a starter. He's not going to be tight end 1, but I think he'll be solid enough. So yeah, I give this team like 8.5. I love this team.
All right, well, those are the draft grades for this one. We're going to get this next one started. We're going to do a 14-team league. Are you guys all in for this one or what?
Run it.
I'm out.
I got to tip out.
All right, y'all. Hey.